slowly creeping down these little semi-open pockets. The wind's up a bit this morning, but I'm heading into it, and as you can see, behind those trees, the sun's hitting those hillsides up there, so that's where I want to be, probably another 400 or 500 metres that way. Try and find a vantage point and glass up into these sunny bits. It's really cool down in here. There's a fair bit of sign, but I haven't found anything that's fresher than a week, but it's all these little benches. So I've got another one down in there. Just slowly sort of zigzagging my way down them. So I'm along 100, drop down, along 100, drop down. They're in the right direction for where I want to go, so I've just shot a good stag. Back up there a little bit, I've just dropped down to where I last saw him. I can't pick up any marks, but I heard the thud when I hit him, probably 70 metres away. He just sort of walked across underneath on one of those little benches that I was poking around on before. So it's only early, I've got all day, so I'm just going to grid search up and down this face. It was pretty quiet. I heard him sort of run across a bit, and then he paused, and then he sort of ducked out of sight, so I'm not quite sure where he's gone, but yeah, it was a pretty easy shot. I had a rest on a tree right on his front shoulder, whacked him, heard the big thud. He did a bit of a buck in the air, fought a little bit, and then took off, ran about 60 metres and pulled up, sort of facing away downhill, and then he's gone behind this big tree, and I couldn't hear him. I don't know where he's gone, so I've gone down to that big tree and I can't see anything, so I'm going to keep going up and down this hillside for about 200 metres and just see if I can find some blood or some tracks. It's all just grassy, leafy stuff, so I couldn't even really find his marks where he'd come across, which is annoying. So, but yeah, I'm confident with the hit. It was pretty solid. Like I said, big whack. He did a bit of a buck when it hit him, and took off. So we'll see if we can find him. Fingers crossed. It's pretty thick in here, so I hope I can bloody find him. Probably not going to see anything down there, but there's a hind down there just feeding. It's probably 150 metres underneath where I'm looking for this stag, so they mustn't get too much pressure up in here anyway. Yeah, I can't see her. I think she's just behind some cover, but I've got a job to do, so I'll keep going. Yes, he's down. Oh, it's only about 60 metres under where I last saw him. Oh, I was so worried I was going to lose this guy. Oh, man. Oh, I didn't think I'd feel like this. Wow. Let's go and check him out. Here I am with this stag. It's quite a feeling to actually get one of these guys on the deck. He's a big old battle warrior. He's got scars all over him. He's got rips in his ears. I haven't checked his teeth yet, but his front hooves are quite worn down. The antler that he did snap, to me, doesn't feel like it's as dense as others I've seen. This one is just a worn off nub, but he's got skin off his nose and his neck, and it's just awesome experience to come down and hunt these guys. It's pretty cool that there was that hind just down underneath where I am. I was only probably 50 metres that way when I glassed her down there. I've just been glassing up and down this hillside looking for him, but he's only probably 30 metres from where I saw him last, so I contoured straight across. Wasn't sure whether he'd gone down or straight, but I saw him behind a tree up there, sort of paused, and then I lost sight of him. So he's pretty much come directly down this hill. There's a little bit of blood, but not much. I've hit him straight in the chest, so the 270 WSM's done a pretty good job. He's probably gone 100 metres from when I hit him. Yeah, so how it played out was, I was up on one of those little shelves that I filmed before. I just moved to the end of it, and I thought, I'll just glass down into this next little layer, and all I saw move when I put the binos up was the antler tip through the trees. You sort of read about that, other people say it, and it's pretty cool when it happens to you. So yeah, use your glass heaps, guys. But yeah, just saw this antler tip. I did actually think he had a reasonable rack on him. I probably wasn't too worried about that though. He was only, I could see he was a big bodied animal. I knew he was a stag, so he was only probably 60 or 80 yards underneath where I was, and he was moving through some of this wattle, and I could see where he was headed. There was a little bit of a window that I could shoot through that was clear. I've been plagued by that a little bit. It's just the lack of visibility when you're on the same face as the deer. So there was a tree about probably a metre and a half in front of me, so I just took 2 bold steps at this tree. The wind was straight up in my face, and it's a bit blowier up there, and that was enough to pull him up. He didn't certainly look at me, but it was enough to make him stop in that clear space. And yeah, gun straight up on the tree, and big boom. So yeah, that worked out really well. I probably jagged that bit of a window, and it's nice to get a good rest and be comfortable with the shot. So bit of a shame that he broke this off, but anyway, nonetheless, now I've got a lot of work to do. I think I'm about 800 metres underneath camp, so plan is I'm going to go back up to camp and get my big pack, and come down and try and get a heap of meat off him. They're just a beast of an animal. They just can't fathom how big they are compared to, red deer. And I mean, rooster aren't as big as reds, but I've shot some big red stags, and they're a big animal. But these guys they're just thick. They're just really heavy. Big flanks on them. So yeah, super stoked to finally get one on the ground. It's a lot of effort to come down and backpack in to hunt sambar, but it's just so rewarding as a hunter. I don't really know how to express why I enjoy it so much. I just do. It's everything's just really natural. I just think it's such a privilege that we can come out into these beautiful alpine areas. I mean, I'd be happy to just bushwalk in some of this country. That spot that I've camped up there is just stellar. But the fact we can do it legally with a gun strapped on our back is even a bigger draw card for me. So yeah, I'm pretty happy to finally get one on the ground. What a road looks like. It's cut into a hillside. That looks like a really old road. Contours along that hill. I've been on it for about 100 metres now. Maybe it's got something to do with that mine shaft that I found. It's about a kilometre further down. It's a little bit eerie looking down into these. I don't know if it's picked a bloody yowie or something to come out, but pretty cool. They're not on any maps, these. None of the maps I've got. Certainly not online. Certainly not on the detailed topo map, so cool. glassing this face opposite where I am, sort of a whole ridge line that's got a heap of windfall and it's a bit of burnt country and a heap of rocky little bluffs in there. It's funny how we make things out to be what we want them to be, but we're looking at the wrong thing. So I've just been glassing this well, I wasn't sure if it was the two back legs of a deer and a bit of a back line, just tucked in the timber a bit, but I've looked at it pretty hard for about 3 minutes, and it's actually a root base on a gum tree that's fallen over. And, it had the right shape for the back end of a deer anyway, so I'll sit here for another half hour longer. It's a pretty good look up here. See what I can pick out anyway. Been pretty hot up in here. Nothing. So I've marked this ridge line as a glassing location. I've just zipped out here to have a look. You wouldn't have been able to glass from out here before the fire because it's all really small eucalypt regrowth. It's been burnt in the past, but I won't focus out on the view. I'll keep it on the binos, but I can look right around there and that hillside over yonder there. It's not completely open. It hasn't been burnt too badly in spots, nothing like over here, but I can see into most of it, so it's probably the wrong time of day to be here, but it'd be worthwhile in the morning. You'd be able to pick some animals out, and I can get over there. It's a fair loop around to get there, but it's doable, so it's certainly worth a good look. I might even come back here in the morning and just glass this hillside for a couple of hours on first light. So I've just stalked up from where I was glassing back there. Couldn't see anything on those faces. Probably the wrong time of day. It's middle of the day. It's warm. It's better be probably mid-teens. I'm just going to head back up to camp and have a bit of a rest. I've had a big morning. I left my phone in my day bag when I did that carry out of all that stag meat. So I've got that back at camp. I think this afternoon I'm just going to have a bit of a sit on one of those wallows down under camp. There was one that was active yesterday afternoon, so yeah, I might just do that, have an easy one. It's been a big day. Sambar love eating this. They just nip the tops off this shrub. It's all through here. There's a rub tree through there. There's another one there. All these plants are chewed. You get into spots like this and you think, oh, it's thick and crappy in there, too noisy, too much windfall, and that's right where they are. They don't like the open bits. They like this bad bush. That's what they're into. That's why they're so hard to hunt. It's got a little preach tree. It's funny to see how high they can reach. There and I'm probably 18 inches under the top rubs on that, and I'm 5'11", so a big old reach if that's a neck. Turkish delight and a freeze-dried banana smoothie. Doesn't get much better. I've carried this thing in on the last 2 trips. It's been my little reward package for when I got a Sambar. So, good stuff. Here's my little tip for today. Water's always can be an issue in the high country, so it's just that little still soak that I found yesterday. There's a lot of debris in the water, lots of moss and God knows what else. You can see that. This is where these buffs are good. They do lots of different things, but another thing you can do with them. Put them over your pot. You can use them as a filter. Now, this won't clean your water, you've still got to treat it or boil it, but it'll get all that debris out of it, so you can just, sometimes it takes a little bit to get it going. I think some of these have got a bit of a water repellent treating on these buffs when they're new. So yeah, just decant your bottle over like that. Buff will filter out all the main big particles, and then once it strains through, you just decant that into your clean water bottle, and then it's heaps better to put back and take back to camp and cook with. Here's my second tip for today, and I'll try not to do any more tips. So I've got a fire set for tonight. It's an upside down fire, so just stack the wood crisscrossed, leave some gaps in it for airflow, build up to the small stuff. Got some cotton wool buds soaked in Vaseline, or Vaseline rubbed into them. I just bring a little container of them, they weigh bugger all and they light in the wet. And I've got some little splits of sapwood, which are what those sticks, and they burn quite well. So I've got no doubt that even if it rained later, that would probably start a light. So and they burn quite well. They're good cooking fire, the upside down fires, because they burn down. You get really good coals quite quickly. So yeah, that'll be my evening. Such a nice afternoon. Just a shame that bloody wind keeps swinging around. It's all over the place. Got that wallow straight down there about 80 metres. So I've got my little upside down fire sparked up. It's been going for about 10 minutes now. They burn pretty slow. They once they get going, they're really good, but they certainly don't crackle up like you do a regular fire. But benefit of these is they're set and forget. So no deer this afternoon. Didn't hear anything, didn't see anything. The wind's been really fickle. You can probably see it flickering those flames there. Yeah, it's swung all over the place. So I'd say that's probably been my demise this afternoon. But I think that would have happened no matter what I was doing, whether I was trying to stalk or whatever I was doing. So I'm going to go in the opposite direction in the morning and try and glass up some faces over there. I'm just not too sure how much they've been fire affected, but we'll head over and have a look anyway. Then I'll make a decision whether I stay in the area a third night or whether I start to shuffle my way back towards the car. There's still lots of hunting back that way. It's just yeah, I'll just have to see what the temps are as well. With that meat, it's been quite warm today, so keep an eye and see how much it cools that meat down in the morning as well, overnight. So yeah, that's a wrap for day 2.5, I suppose. Yeah, see you guys. Just waiting for this to burn right out. I've just had a hind about 30 metres behind me, honking away. Jumped up, you could see it wasn't antlerless with my headlight, so yeah, probably coming into one of these wallows a bit after dark tonight. Anyway, them's the breaks.